Hey guys, my name is Danny and I'm your life and relationship coach. And today we are talking about how to have a healthy long distance relationship. If you are watching this video, then obviously my assumption is that you are in a long distance relationship, or maybe you are about to get into a long distance relationship and you're wondering how to navigate that. I understand how difficult that can be, right? I understand the element or the dynamic of a long distance relationship can cause some strain. But the reality is you can have a healthy relationship. You can have a healthy long distance relationship if the both of you are on the same page, if the both of you are willing to make the sacrifice and the commitment. So, what are some things that you can do in order to make the relationship a healthier one? The first thing is to have very clear goals. So when you get into the relationship, have an understanding of what you want to achieve within this relationship, right? Are you going to actively try to move to the same city as your partner at some point, the same country at some point, right? Is it going to be in 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years? Whatever the case may be, it is very important that you guys have the same goals. Again, something that should be discussed in the beginning of the relationship, or at least at some point throughout the relationship, so you feel like you are striving for the same thing. The other part of that is making sure that you are having quality conversation over quantity conversation. So this is number two, right? Oftentimes I find that there is this thing that happens in long distance relationships where you feel the need to be in constant contact with your significant other because of the distance, and the feeling of communicating more throughout the day feels like it closes the gap between the two of you guys. But the reality of the situation is that it can actually put more pressure or more strain on the relationship. So what I recommend to most of my long distance couples is make sure that you are prioritizing quality conversation over quantity conversation. So what does that mean? Instead of texting each other 24/7 all day long, FaceTiming multiple times a day, being on phone calls throughout the day, try to have quality conversation, once a day, maybe twice a day. And that segues me into my next point, which is number three: schedule your calls. It is incredibly important because if you are trying to navigate, right, keeping communication with your partner, you may not necessarily always know what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, right? Because you're not living in the same city, you're not living together, you're not living in the same place. And for example, maybe your partner has a different university schedule than you do. Maybe they have a different work schedule than you do, right? And even though you are aware of that schedule, if you try to call them throughout the day and they aren't answering because they're busy doing whatever they're doing, maybe they're hanging out with friends, maybe they're out at the gym, maybe they're at a yoga class, or whatever the case may be, you start to feel a little bit more disconnected from them. You start to feel like maybe potentially them not answering the phone is a red flag, and you start to overthink and you start to assume. So having very clear conversations and saying, hey, this is the day that I'm available. Let's have, a 2 hour conversation or a 3 hour conversation on a Friday. Maybe we can watch a movie together via Skype or via, Zoom or whatever the case may be on a Friday night. Scheduling that actually creates less pressure in the relationship because it's something that you are expecting, it's something that you are anticipating, and it also gives you something to look forward to. Now, I do recommend obviously trying to have as many face-to-face conversations as possible, so whether that be via Skype, via Zoom, whatever platform you use is whatever platform you use. That's fine. The whole point here is that you're trying to have more face-to-face interactions. Now, that does not mean that every time you call your partner, it has to be that way. It can very well be audio calls, it can be text messages and all of those things, but the more important, substantial, quality conversations should be had via video. The last part of this is live your life, right? Do your thing. Don't try to schedule your entire life around your partner's schedule because of the long distance relationship. Now, I'm not saying that it's not a priority to make sure that you are scheduling some time for your partner and to have conversations and to have video chats and all of that stuff. But don't stop living your life because you're trying to make that schedule work. You have to make sure that you're fulfilling yourself. You have to make sure that you're maintaining that sense of self-identity. You have to make sure that you are keeping that sense of self-confidence, because when there is distance between the two of you, it is possible, depending on your personality, that more insecurities will bubble up. So that's why it is so important and crucial that you are spending time investing in yourself, self-care, self-development, hanging out with your friends, focusing on your schoolwork, trying to get that promotion at work. Whatever the case may be, do not stop your life just because you are in a long distance relationship, right? And when you do finally have the opportunity to go and visit your partner, right? Because the whole thing about a long distance relationship is that you're at least making it a point to visit each other maybe once, a month, or every other week, or every 3 months, whatever your cadence is. When you do finally get to spend time with your partner, do not try to overpack. Do not try to overplan the meeting, right? The time that you get to spend together. Because if you only have a week together and you're like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go to the museum, I want to go to the park, I want to do all of these types of things, then what ends up happening is that, yes, you have those cool experiences, but you also become exhausted. You also have a lot of things that are on your mind. You also have a schedule that you're trying to stick to, which can increase the chances of more fights, some general frustration, some annoyances, right? It is incredibly important to plan these types of things, yes, but to also have downtime, to have those intimate moments, to just lay on the couch with a blanket and some popcorn and watch some movies and cuddle. That is just as important as experiencing all these new things together. So make sure that it's balanced and that you're not overdoing it. If you like this video, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below. I'd love to see and hear what you have to say, so please make sure you leave your comments in the comment box down below as well. I try to read as many as possible. I try to answer as many as possible as well. Maybe you want to know a little bit more, right? You want to dive a little bit deeper into this subject. You can visit us at www.happilycommitted.com, where we have a multitude of different articles and blogs and videos related to this subject and many other subjects as well. If you want to have a one-on-one coaching session because you feel like you just need a little bit more support, you feel like you need more questions answered, and you're just not getting enough from this video, I would be more than happy to support you through that. You can book your session on the website as well with myself or any other of the amazing coaches that we have on the team. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you're staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you soon.